So hello friends, today I'm gonna be solving the lead code question, minimum cost climbing stairs. So this come under the dynamic programming part and it is the easy one. So if you are new to dynamic programming, so you can check my previous videos. So first of all, what this question is saying. So you have to find out the cost. You have to return the minimum cost and you are given an integer array cost where cost of I is the cost of I is step on the staircase. Once you pay the cost, you can either climb one or two step. So what this question is saying, like suppose you are at 10 right now. So at 10 you can go to 20 and then you can reach your destination. So that will be the final output. So 10 plus 20, that will be 30, but it is not efficient. So and you second step is that you can select the 15 and after that 15 you can come out here. So 15 is the correct choice. So first step is like you hop into 10 and you then traverse from here from 10 then 20 then other you can select, and the second one is 15. So while taking the second example, so second scenario you can see is that there is 1 and 100. So either you gonna be starting from 1 or you can start from 100. So from 100 it will be very costly because from 100 the value will be very high. So you are not gonna taking this 100. So you will start with 1 and after that you take this one and you have taken this one. So for the minimum cost you can select the 2 also, like from start from here and end from here. So I think you get the understanding of what this minimum cost climbing stair is. So before jumping into this problem, I'm gonna be solving a very basic thing that you have to know for the recursion. So right now I'm in online JavaScript compiler. I welcome to program as it has written. So first of all, I'm gonna be telling a simple. Let's suppose I have declared one array, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and what I'm gonna be doing is I'll create a function that is recursion. That is, I have taken the naming convention recur. I'm just consoling it. Console.log recur. I'll pass this array. I'll take this array. So first of all, the basic task is if you have to find out like some of these numbers with recursion. So how will you do it? So do you get the idea like how can you do it? So just a minute. So yes. So first of all, what is the scenario? So you can either start from this part or you can either start from this part. So what you are gonna be doing is I'll start from here. So my base condition. So in recursion you already know that there is some base condition. So the base condition here is if you reach the till the end, if you reach the array end. So arr dot length, suppose, and you will be needing one helper method that adds up. I have declared one n. So right now that will be 0. I'll declare it here, n is equal to 0. So if n is equal to a dot length, that is our base condition, and what you have to return 0. So that our base condition is full now. We are adding these array numbers. So for adding these number, what we have to do is I can declare one sum. Suppose you can declare one sum, and I have declared one sum variable. Sum is equal to 0. I have declared one sum, and I will add the array values here, a of n, and I'll do what? I'll just simply call the recur method, recur, and after that here is a comma n. I have passed n plus 1, let's suppose, and if n is equal to a dot length or n is less than or equal to a dot length, I'll do this. And I will simply return sum here. So when you just console it, it will giving me 0. So sum is giving me 0 because I have declared n is equal to 0 here. My array dot length return 0. The sum is equal to sum a of n, that is 1. Okay, what I am getting error is I have passed the array and my sum is 0 right now. Is there any 1 minute? Okay, so what will I do is I'll declare let n is equal to 0 here, and I'll pass the n. N is less than equal to a dot length, then return 0. Okay, n is equals to a dot length, then return 0. Okay, so 4 5 I have declared the wrong condition here. It will be n is equal to a dot length. So my it has like summed up all the values 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So you can see that this is the first way. So I'll trick you once. So what is the another way to sum it up? Like what can I do? I can declare what sum here, and what I can do is I have declared the sum here, and what I will gonna do is now sum is equal to recursion of n plus 1. So what do you think, what will be the output of this, and what can I do? Okay, so I have declared one variable sum here, and now what can I do? I can simply return this sum with the value of my array, that is a of n. So it will also give me the output 10. Yes, it has also given me the output 10. So this main concept you have to understand for solving this minimum cost climbing step problem. If you understand this now, you can understand easily what is this minimum cost climbing step problem. Because whenever you have to check the return value of this recur function which I have created. So I have passed it inside the sum, and then I have just returned the sum plus a of n. That a of n is nothing but the value, like a of 1, then a of 2, then a of 3, then a of 4, and this function will return me 0, and sum is right now 0, then 0 plus something 0, then it will add up to the sum. So by that way it is adding inside the recur method. So once I will console here, console.log, what this recur is doing, I will tell you a comma n plus 1. So let me check what once. So yeah, first the value is 0, then after that it is 0, then after that it is 4 here, after that it is 0 0, then it is 4, then 7, then it is adding up the both values like 4 7 and 9, 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. By that way it is summing up all the values in the recursion. Main point is this. So if you get this simple example, so I'm going to be telling you about the next minimum cost climbing stairs. So how will you solve this problem? So you have to take either 10 or either 15. So it is good that we create the graph for it, like we plot some graph. So first let's suppose this is my I have started from 0, so there are two choices. Either I'm gonna be taking one, that is 1, or either 2 steps. Either we will be taking 2 or 3. It's okay. One thing you notice, I'll tell you once. 3. So this part, this 3 3, it is our base condition here. 3 and 3 is our base condition. And this 2 here, what is, it will be 1. 2 plus 1 3. Yeah, actually it is also the base condition. So what is happening, these are the values of array, like these are the value of indexes. So suppose in the 0 part I have declared 10 here. You're getting my point? I have declared 10 here, and in 1 I have declared 15, and on 2 I have declared 20. So if you are in 15 right now, so you can hop into 20, and in 15 you can and then you hit the base condition and you get the final result. So one thing is that you have to notice that why to calculate it like a different way. There is 15 also and there is 10 also. Now, so we are gonna be taking the minimum value of these two, minimum value of these two nodes. So 0 and 1. So let's jump into code. There are a lot of I have told, and the previous example, this one, 1 minute. The previous example of which I have created the array sum, it was also like this. So in the array also I have declared one array. So recursively it was summing up all the values. Recursively it was summing up all the values. So once you check for, like, if you have two arrays there, and how can you solve that problem? So I'll just quickly tell you how what is the solution of this problem. So I'll create one function here, minimum cost, and it will give me the output. So what I have to do is, let's suppose I am changed it to C. So what I'm gonna be doing is, now I'll declare one let value is equal to, yeah, I'll just simply return that minimum cost, math.max minimum cost of C. Yeah, I'm gonna be passing that array and the index, either the first index or I'm gonna be passing either the second index. C comma, let's suppose 1. So I have written it wrong here, minimum. So it will give me the minimum value of either this part or either this part. So I'll directly jump into code, and let's suppose I have declared a value a here, and let's suppose it is n, the value of index. So the base condition you already knew, that if n is less than or equal to a dot length, if n is equal to a dot length, then what you can do is simply return 0. Okay, you get it now, the base condition which I have drew in the graph. So recursive table, sorry. So what I will do is, now I will just return, so here a and n is there. So now what you can do, you have to take the value of this or this. So I will declare one value, let let's suppose what is the naming convention I can do. Let's suppose I have done LD is equal to, I will call this min cost function a comma n. Let rd is equal to min cost of a comma, let's suppose my n is 0 here, so I will do n plus 1, here I will do n plus 2. So I have taken the value of n plus 1 here in the LD, and RD I have taken the value of n plus 2. But right now I have not performed any computation yet. It will only give me the return output of 0. I have to do some computation also now to get the answer. So what I can do is I will just simply return the math dot min of, either I'm going to be taking the left or I am going to be taking the right RD value. It's okay. I'm going to be taking the left value or I'm going to be taking the right value. And what I will do, I will just simply sum up the value of a of n here. So I'm going to be taking the minimum value from this side, from the n plus 1 or from the n plus 2, the minimum of 15 or 20. So it will automatically take 15 and it will add up to 10. So 15 plus 10, it will give me 25. So the output here will be 25, but we don't want that output to be 25. So for the C0 and 1, it will give me the output of 25. Sure. For C, if I have taken 0, then it will give me the output of 25. You're getting my point? 10 plus 15. And for C comma 1, it will give me the output for 15. So after 15, there is n plus 1, that is 20, and after that there is no value. Okay, so I think it might work. So let's check what it is giving me. I think in the base condition it will be n is, let's suppose n is 0 here, so n is less than or equal to a dot length, I suppose. Okay, it is giving me the output of 0. I don't know, it is due to n is equal to 0 a dot length, that's why. Okay, a dot length, what is giving me? Maximum call size exceeded. Okay, so why it is giving me this kind of error? If n is greater than equal to a dot length, so let's suppose n is 0 right now. So when n will be it will be this condition, n is greater than a dot length, because if my value will exceed, let's suppose it is 0 here and now it is 1. So if my value will exceed, then it will be the correct output, I think. Yeah. So what I have done a mistake, please you don't do that mistake, that I have taken the n is less than, because uh, it will hit the base condition only if n is greater, because if n is greater than like 3, like 0 1 2 and 3, if n is greater, then only it will be returning. But one thing is also here, one thing is missing, that in this question one thing is missing. That thing is key, we have not memoized it, because in dynamic programming we have to memorize. If for the big values, like for the suppose for the big arrays, it will give me the error because I have not used the memoized version for this scenario. So once you check, it will give me the time limit exceeded. I'll show you. Yeah, it is giving me the output. Okay, no problem. 100 111 100 11 100, it is giving the incorrect answer in this part only, because return mat dot minimum of ld comma rd plus a of n. Okay, I think it will be ld comma rd plus a of n. Okay, so n plus 1, n plus 2, it will be working fine right now. Yeah, so I don't know, like this JavaScript don't take two arguments as a, like it has not taken two arguments, but my code was correct. So for the big test case, what I have said, for the big test case, the value will fail, the output will fail. So how to handle that? How to handle that? Let me check. So for that you have to do nothing, just you have to memorize it, because let's suppose for that specific value of n you have already calculated the answer, but why to calculate it afterwards? Like for suppose there is 0, there is 1, there is 2. Oh my bad, my handwriting is very bad. 1 minute. Let's suppose here it is 0, then here it is 1, then here it is 2, then after that here it is 3, and there it is 2. So my point here is, like if we have calculated for 2 and here the 2 is already there, so we don't have to calculate it. So you know, by the dynamic programming, that we have to memorize. So comma, I will create one memo object here, and I will just do for if my I in memo. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be returning the value of a of I. Okay, so if I in memo, so sorry, n, it will be n. If n in memo, return a of n. So by now it is correct. Only step we have to do is, like instead of I have returned here, I'll just simply do put it inside the object memo of n equals to my.min, this part, and I will just simply return the memo of n. It will give me the correct output. I have also memoized it. So if the value is found in the object, so I'll just simply return the object, sorry, memo of n. And I think the code is looking pretty good. So first, like, compile it for the smaller part, and after that we'll check it for the bigger part. Okay, for okay, memo is already declared. So yes, memo of n is already declared. Yeah, it is giving me the correct output. So once I am gonna be submitting it, okay, let me guess what is we getting, what are we getting after memoizing. Okay, it is giving me the same error. I don't know, like why it is giving me the error right now. Math dot minimum memo of n. Okay, my one is very silly mistake it here. Like I have not passed the function, because I have declared the function here, but I have not passed it. So the value of the memo here will not be updated. Like it will give me the empty object all the time. So that's why it will not be calculating the right output, but for the smaller case it has given me the output. So by now code is looking good. So let us check once again. Okay, so it is giving me the correct output, 84 millisecond. So it's the solution. And for the time complexity, you can see, like in the recursion you already knew that time complexity goes for exponentially. But after using the memoized way of doing, the time complexity will be like very slow, like it will be the linear time complexity in that case. So order of n and order of n for the space complexity as well. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it might be helpful for minimum cost climbing stairs. Thank you guys.